Greetings, mortals, I am the FallenShogun, and welcome to the Who's That Indie, while I can still breathe, so well. Today's impression is Phoenix Point, which is technically an indie, but they got paid a lot of money to make it, so it's a weird one. Now, Phoenix Point is from the creators of the original XCOM, the one with the little line in between. Not XCOM, XCOM, the original one from like 10, 20 years ago now? Julian Gollop and all that. Now, it spent a year in early access on Epic. There's no other way of explaining that. It literally was early access because the game came out as a tech demo. Now, we're going to look at what's changed now it's officially released, as it were. I did air signs would be better. And we'll talk about what's changed. And a lot of things have changed. Now, the original game, the design was, this bit up here is a kill counter. When the human population drops below a certain level, depending on the difficulty, this is like the third highest, you lose. Before, the people slowly went mad as their minds were infected. Now it's literally trying to save the human population, which I like more. They've also changed how things work. So you start off with a Phoenix Point base, which is the Phoenix Point. And you start off from there. Now, you can find other bases. Before, you had to get a scan by getting your flying vehicle to it. But now, you can see where some of the bases are. So you can see there's a Phoenix Point base over here, Phoenix Delta. There's a base over here I haven't activated, Phoenix Storage 2. So you can kind of see them and you can kind of activate them. Now, you build scanners. You can scan around them. This is the big green circle. It finds new points to do. Question marks a place I've not yet been to. And if an enemy attacks a base within that circle, it will show where the starting point was. Now, as you can see, I've got a scan here. This is attacks. It's not showing me where the attack's coming from, so I'm assuming it's in this circle over here, because I can't see it. Now, the game plays out very similar to original XCOM. You have 4 action points per soldier, but they have an area of effect around them, which we'll show in a second. There's also a few other major differences. Let's actually just get this started. Also, while we're talking about it, your troops fly in a vehicle you build. There are multiple different vehicles. There's 4 factions in the game. Officially, there's a few minor factions. But there's there's New Jericho, which are heavily armoured infantry. Then there's the Disciples of Anu, which have completely worshipped the new Pandoravirus and now have genetic mutations and flesh beasts. And then there's, where are they? Here we go. The Synedrian, which have gone a bit more naturey. They use lasers and basically hover vehicles. So these are high-tech. These are what happens if you give the Empire of Mankind and the Imperial Guard weaponry. And this is what happens if you let Chaos take over. But yeah, you can get a flyer from each one of those. The starting one, the Phoenix Project one, is a 6-seater. You can have up to 8 soldiers in a battle. The biggest vehicle, I think, comes from these guys, which is an 8-seater but slower. Let's just give a fight. So, you're meant to find new points, you're meant to find out what's going on, and occasionally the havens get attacked and you get resources. Let's just save these people and show how it works. Now, you have multiple different classes in the game. You have the heavy, which is heavy weaponry. You have the infantry guy. This guy is slightly more organic because of a quest. Usually they look more like this. You have the sniper, and then you have special classes from each of the factions. You know, tech, berserker, stuff like that. So you can mix and match classes, with each class being able to tech into a second line, depending when you get your experience points. Experience points also work like XCOM. You get like 8 or so for completing a mission. You get 30 or 40, maybe 50 for levelling up. So you can slowly level up your soldiers to be super powerful. But let's just show how it works. With my 6-man teams, I have no extra flying vehicles. And we're in. So you get this lovely little fly thing of whatever vehicle you're currently flying. It exists. And you don't, or do you now? You didn't get a drop before. I don't think you do this time either. No, you don't. So obviously when you're fighting in the factions, havens, they're safe houses. It looks like what they are. As you can see, New Jericho is very much armoured and tech. Now, I was talking about points. So as you can see here, he has 4 action points going. The circles, well, the squares, show how far he can go. So here, the blue shows he still has action to shoot his primary gun. That's what the blue is. Shoot your primary weapon. So the sniper requires 3. The heavy weapon requires 3. There are abilities you can unlock. This guy can make it so it's 2. But as you can see, I can move up to 4. And I'd only be able to shoot up to 1. But I can switch my pistol and shoot up to 3. Now, you've got the usual set of cover. You have, like, see, half cover. And there should also be full cover here. Unfortunately... Oh, he's badly injured. Your cover can be destroyed. Weaponry aiming is very different. It's one of the really good things about this game. I'll just do this fire weapon. You see that circle? This is your targeting. The blue circle is guaranteed target. That's where you're aiming. But depending on your weapon, you might not be that accurate. So you want to get as much of the blue circle on your target as possible. Which, as you can see at long distance, even that car, it's going to be difficult. The darker blue circle was something there. The darker blue circle is where your spread could go. So you're aiming to get this circle on the target. So it reduces a massive amount of RNG from the current XCOM games, which just go, here's a 50% chance. You don't know what this is. Now this range could be a 50% chance on that car, but you're guaranteed to know that you're aiming at it at least, as opposed to when I've seen a shotgun miss at point blank bloody range. And obviously you have different weapons, each faction has its own weapons. This is a new Jericho Gorse rifle, which is basically armor piercing, and obviously I've got some basic weaponry in advance. So let's quickly just start dashing and find out where the enemy is, because I have to protect this, so they're probably inside it. So my heavy is wearing a jetpack, so let's get him up top and see what we can spot. So you use will points and action points. These little squares you find around the map are also... Oh! Sniper! Oh, action points. That's a problem. So you use will points and action points. Will points are obviously what you use for your abilities, but when you run out of will points, your trooper will panic and run away most of the time. So if your soldier panics, if your trooper panics, of course, he's going to start running and be uncontrollable, which is a problem. Can I get a shot on that? I can if I go there, but I think I'm going to get sniped. Okay, you're going to dash to here. This one is a dual class. This is a sniper assault. Okay, I'm going to use quick aim to get a shot on. I'm going to shoot at the heavy thing. So as you can see, I'm going to show the aim. As you can see here, their head will be disabled. It shows you what happens if you disable a target. This will drop its willpower and its maximum hit points. This, if I destroy it, removes its ability to launch poison worms, which is literally an enemy it fires at us. Let's go for their head. That's the best target shot. Please don't miss. I miss slightly above their head, but it's still damage. Oh, I hate you. Can I overwatch? Quick aim. Okay, quick aim. Overwatch with your pistol. Also, another thing which changes is Overwatch. Overwatch is a cone, as you can see here. The target is, of course, the glowy area. And obviously, the further away you get, the less glow there is, the less accurate it's going to be. And you can also see it's being blocked by combat terrain. Also, one of the new things they've done from the old one to the current one is you can get soldiers from the Haven to work for you. Before, they just sort of moved around. Now, you just go into their territory and you get their troops. Obviously, you don't get to keep them, annoyingly, but there you are. So they are kind of disposable soldiers, but again, if you lose population, you're a little bit screwed later on. So you're going to move up to... How far can you go? No. There. Now, one of the biggest changes was, and I'm glad they did it, is the enemy. This is a Triton Hitman. The Triton have 4 arms, and obviously the Hitman denotes what it is. So before, the enemy was a Triton or an Arthron or a Chiron, and that was it. What they tried to do was the enemy would evolve and change its body parts. The body parts actively change, like the soldier with heavily armoured heads, different weapons. Maybe its back is unarmoured. This one looks like it might be a stealth one, so it can literally hide. Before, the body parts would change depending upon you. But it was crap. Very bluntly. Absolutely rubbish. Basically, the enemy was meant to, like, if you have too many troops bundled together constantly, they'd have grenades. if you were rushing with shotguns and things, they'd have shields and heavy armour. But what actually happened was, you could reload the same mission over and over again, and the enemy would just have different weaponry over and over again. They would literally had no consistent weaponry. So what they've done was they've just got rid of that. So now the enemy doesn't evolve to fight your style. Like, they may change what they've got on the field, but they don't evolve their style. They have types. So the hitman will always have the sniper. The Aplu will always be firing poison worms. Then you have like the brutes, which are always heavily armoured close quarter soldiers, stuff like that. So they've changed it entirely so the enemy actually has working troops. It does, however, mean there's less evolution on the field, but it means you're fighting more variety. Because how variety usually worked was you'd fight 10 guys with shields or 10 guys with grenade launchers, and that was literally it. Now you're fighting multiple different types. I hate how they have laser weapons and I don't. So yeah, see, that guy's got a heavily armoured head. Okay, here's a gunner. As you can see, all gunners will look like this. Okay. So yeah, before you might just find a load of them like with heavily armoured shields, heavily armoured heads and a machine gun. Now you know if you're fighting them, what type they are. Ooh. Oh! Yeah, so you know exactly what they are. As you can see, all gunners look the same. Like I say, it has removed a lot of the variety, but it does make them more consistently available to have massive amounts of different troops on the field.
Aiming.
But yeah, it works. It works so much better. It actually is a proper, you know, game now. I can't get a... Okay, let's see if I can take him out. Took out his machine gun arm. I'll take it. And that was the biggest thing. The enemy evolution did not work. And like, I can't state that enough. It literally did not work. I can't hit you.
On my way.
Okay, come on, Anton. They also changed how this gun. This used to be like one big heavy shot. Now it fires a lot. But also, if you actually look at the enemy, you see how it's showing on the big bar how much potential damage you can do. So obviously you want to fire at the place which does the most damage, but say they shoot his head and he moves backwards in pain, that's an issue. Well, that moves a bit. Let's aim for there and get the regeneration. Okay, he's dazed, he can't regenerate. He's taken a lot of pain. Good. So yeah, you really want to make sure you're doing what you can. 2 New Jericho Assault. Okay, what can I get you to do? You need to heal. Do you have a heal? You do. Good. Heal. Can't heal broken body parts, but you can get some of the health and the lack of bleeding back. Can I shoot anything? Oh, that's not a good shot. Okay, go for the assault rifle. Come on. Oh, come on. And yeah, you're going to miss shots still. Just because you can aim doesn't mean they're going to hit. Just means they're more likely to hit. Why wouldn't you go the other way? Terrible. Okay, you're going to...
Finger on the trigger.
That's not likely. Yeah. Come on, you can do it. I'll take it. Maybe you'll bleed to death before he gets close. Fire. Oh, thank God. I'd be very upset if he missed point blank range. Shotguns have a hell of a spread. Okay. So what the visual meta was, you use your dash to rush your soldier up. Then obviously use the sniper's ability to quick aim, which makes your attack 1 less point. And use him to basically, you know, run 2, fire 2, or run 3, fire 1. So you could literally get up and personal with every single enemy. That's why a lot of my guys, actually all of my assault rifles, have shotguns. Torso's down. Fire again. Okay, he's bleeding. He might bleed to death. And yeah, the evolution was obviously the big point of the game. But I like the new... you miss big time. I like the new style because you get massive variety. And I can't specify that enough. You get variety. I was tired of seeing a dozen heavy-armed soldiers who looked exactly the same. Now there's like a sniper on the roof, a gunner over there. Okay, he can't do anything. He has a head spit, I think. He's stunned, so he doesn't have much in the way of movement points. Not sure how I feel about the human population index, but of course they have to do something. So you're getting point blank to shoot. Although there's still this weird issue. Occasionally the AI freezes. It's been in here since the beginning. I don't know what it's actually doing.
No!
Oh! My soldiers also have an ability to return fire at like 10 squares? But you know, wait. Okay, you don't give me any points for killing things, but let's just, you know, get rid of them anyway. Another thing which happens in this game is, if your enemy destroys things in a haven, they have to be repaired or be fixed. Like, they're actively attacking a building part of that base. If it gets destroyed, it is destroyed. So you need to make sure, you know, they're not losing parts. Like, if you say, don't defend the food factory, you might be in trouble, because food is a big one in this game. Because before you could actually make your own food, but have not been able to see a place where you need to make food. Your soldiers need to be fed. Could take a leg out. Let's take a leg out. No? Okay.
Do we have a plan? Let's just
No.
get this over
Do we
with.
have a plan? We've never had a plan. Go on.
I think I got in some damage.
I think you did too. Okay, you might be able to kill it. Move up to here. Come on, random New Jericho assault soldier. Finish him off. 30 damage. You missed once. Okay, move to here. Finish that one off. Okay, but yeah, it actually goes much better. Before, I did not like how it worked originally, I'll be honest. It didn't work that well at all. But the new style makes it much more of a fun game. Like, majorly fun.
Pretty sure there is a cure.
Pretty sure there was a cure. Okay, there's nothing I can do about the poison worms. That soldier has to survive. Okay, he's panicking. That's good. Let's advance upwards. You who's had his head shot off. Wait, what? Where? Okay, that soldier's going to have to do his best. He's not one of mine, so I don't care.
Enemy spotted.
Oh.
Protect humanity.
Oh, so if you ever need to leave, you can actually fuzz on leave. What does he do? Can he stealth? Okay, he's running away. He's fine. Okay, he's going to get poisoned. I don't really care. Oh, no damage. It must be his armour. Uh-oh. This probably will, though. You can also lose armour. Well, not lose armour. You can lose equipment. So, because you can directly target, you can shoot the guns out of enemy soldiers' hands. Now, of course... Uh-oh. Yeah, there's the heal. Also, you can pick up enemy equipment. So, a lot of the weaponry you find is picked up off of the dead. That's the big thing. Like, you literally pick up equipment off of dead infantry. So most of the guns I get, I didn't make. I found.
Moving.
Somehow. Okay. Shotgun.
Target down.
Thank you. Yeah, obviously there's tougher battles. There was like there's much tougher enemies in the game. There's obviously tougher situations. There's ambushes. There's scavenging. Obviously there's the important missions. Like I've got that guy in the living armor. That is a DLC mission, which is still ongoing. There's also time-sensitive missions, which you do for each of the factions as well. You can see something? Yeah, sure, go for it. Oh, wow! I'm surprised you even hit it twice from that angle. Chris Backdoor Razanka. I didn't give him that name. He came with it. Can I get a shot off? I can get a shot off. What can you see?
Have to focus.
One real target left. Okay, you're going to push up as well. But yeah, everything's destructible. There are vehicles in the game. Vehicles take up more slots than a soldier, obviously. So, because I only have a 6-seater vehicle, I'm only bringing 6 soldiers. My actual vehicle takes up 3 whole slots. And having a 4-man team this early on? Yeah, it's tough. Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. Oh, yeah. Just repaired its arm. Footpad Alpha. Oh, it lost its gun at least. So the enemy isn't aware of your presence until it sees you. That's one of the big things. So troops will be rushing towards the sound of gunfire, but if they can't see you, they won't attack you. So you don't get like weird things of like being shot out the blue unless they somehow spotted you beforehand. So there is a lot less RNG. There we go. And obviously now we've done it, we get a load of XP. So leveling up gets you more SP. That's your points, and obviously just getting involved in a battle gets you SP as well. So obviously these guys all have 8 I could use to upgrade. There we go, save them. So they like me more. The actual Haven person likes me more, get some more resources. We couldn't find... Oh, I'll take the gift.
I hope we can work together against...
And obviously you guys actually have a weaponry and equipment. So yeah, let's have a quick look at that. So your soldiers carry gear. As you can see, he's carrying a autocannon, a grenade, and some extra ammo. Each gun has a certain amount of ammo, then they have to reload. So it is good to have extra munitions, but as you can see, his encumbrance has gone over, which means he moves a bit slower. So strength is how many things they can carry. Each piece is obviously one more piece of encumbrance, and it gives them an extra 10 hit points. Willpower is how likely they are to obviously go insane and run away from battle. The more will points you have, the more abilities you can use in the field. As you saw, most of my guys are pretty low. And of course, speed is how many tiles they can move. So it's very important to keep you guys leveled up and not just focus on the points. My guy can get a new class, so I could go assault training. I can now give him return fire. So if someone shoots him at close range, he will return fire. I can also give him dash. Dash, as you saw, means he can now move quite far, almost 2 people's worth in 1 turn. But now, of course, he needs more willpower. He can also use Phoenix points, which are also gained throughout missions. They can be used on anyone. So yeah, this guy is now much more useful at extreme close range heavy gunning. I can have him run to a place, and then can have him use his roar, which makes everyone attack him, and with his armour he might survive, and every time someone shoots him at close range he will shoot them in the face with a heavy cannon. So you can build how you want. If I went for sniper, I could have used a sniper's ability so that he could fire his gun cheaper. Still need to use your main cannon. So yeah, you build equipment, you use equipment. There's different classes, as you can see. So we have generic, assault, heavy, and obviously sniper. But obviously there are other factions. Now, there are 4 ways of winning the game, depending on which faction you choose to go with, or if you choose the Phoenix Points way. So you can decide how things end, although mostly it'll just be the missions and a cutscene. But it still gives you a bit of choice on how you want to do it. You also need supplies. Obviously there's tech to build certain things, there's materials to build buildings, and then there's food so that your people live. You also use food to recruit new troops. There's a sniper here I can recruit. And how that works is you go to your base, you have slots you can't build into the armour, and you choose to build things. This is a research lab for faster research, more storage for equipment, a med base your troops heal at home, an access lift. So if your base gets attacked, troops come down the access lift, you could choose where they are. You have your living quarters, each one allows you to have another 6 men. You have your training facilities, so that if troops are back at base they get experience points. And obviously your energy generator, because you need energy. This base is 12 of 20. And of course the satellite uplink, which is that big massive scan. Now you can see what each thing has. The medical bay needs to be repaired, and you can see what you need. So I have a lot of fab plants, which means I can build stuff fast, but I might think I'm getting behind on research. So I probably want another research thing. So I could just go here and just go, give me a research lab. Takes 4 days to build, very simple. Now I only have 7 men in the entire game and a truck. So my soldier and my truck are currently at the main place. I could, if I wanted to, build another manticore. That gets me another 6 men on the air. I could have them combined, have them both go to the same place and pick 8 soldiers. Or I could have 2 6-man teams go around. So you can choose the teams, you can choose the places. Because Haven assaults are always going to happen in the red areas. And you don't want to lose people. Like this one here, I can't reach this here. There's a Phoenix base there. But I have to start exploring around here. And as you can see, there was another spawning area around here as well. So what I probably want to do is make sure that doesn't get lost. So we're going to get a scanner here. Because obviously the more people you lose, the more likely you are to die. Now they have toned it down. Before there was like 4 or 5 Haven assaults at any one time, even at the early stage. So there was a very high chance you'd lose so many Havens. But you still need to have a few teams out there. Just to make sure. As you can see, I can reverse engineer a Hera or a Chiron. As you can see, I'm working basic bionics. You can research the people to give you stuff. And I'm reverse engineering this pistol. I'm reverse engineering shield tech. Reverse engineering the Cyclops. The Cyclops is the new Jericho's Gauss sniper rifle. Very heavy armor. Now the energy weapons poison people. The regular weapons just shoot. The Gauss weapons, or the Gauss, depending on your point of view and how much you've had to drink, is armor piercing, but they fire less. So they do like more armor piercing, but less firepower. And of course, then you have, I think one's just mostly melee stuff. Can't remember now. So yeah, you do have a variety in how you build your characters. Although I'm going to be building berserker soldiers with shotguns because I just want that extra running power. But yeah, it's fun now. It's actually fun. Whether you like it more or less than XCOM is personal preference. But the fact that you now have troops. If I just go to Pandora's, as you can see. The Arth-1 Brute, the Arth-1 Brute Alpha, the Arth-1 Gunner, the Arth-1 Scourge, the Arth-1 Shield. This is just different types. So this is obviously a more armoured version, you can see. So once you see that name, you know what they are. Before, you just have Arth-1. It might have armour, it might have guns, it might have a grenade launcher, it might have a shield. That's all it would be. But now, once you see the name, you know exactly what type it is. And like I've said, it gives you more variety on the field. But it now means you know exactly what the enemy's mutating into. As opposed to, that's an Arth-1, what's it carrying? Let's have a look. Now it's like, oh, that's a Brute. I know it's going to have this shield and poison. Which, like I say, it's much better. It is much better. The other version would have worked if they'd actually put more time and effort into it. But I think what happened there was, I don't know, they gave up. Or maybe it was just too difficult. It's hard to say. I'm not a programmer. But anyway, yeah, this is Phoenix Point. It's on Steam. It's on Epic. It might be on GOG. I think so. I know they gave up doing certain things because they gave up on Linux because that would have, you know, involved coding Linux, even though they promised Linux. Yeah, they promised Linux, but you know, who's going to follow on a promise these days? But anyway, it's fun. It's up to you whether you get it out of it or not. I do have an older series on it. I might actually stream it. Either way, channels for now. Be awesome, be epic, and I will be seeing you next time.